Hey there, you guys. It is I, Captain D, leader, or am I? I am the one who is going to be taking control over this video. I am the traitor. And my name is, that's what we're going to find out today. So, 1075 has left us with a bunch of questions, giving us information, and giving us more questions. And today we're going to be trying to figure out who is in the lab, how are they in the lab, and why are they in the lab. Who, what, when, and why. But we're going to focus on 3 of them. So, who is in the lab? Let's go down our list of suspects. Is it one of the 6 satellites? Vegapunk himself? Is it Caribou? Is it the Gorosei? Are they already here? Or do we have a new guy entirely that we don't even know about? And that's what we're going to be getting down to the bottom of today. Okay, going through, we have Pythagoras, we have York, we have Shaka, we have Atlas, we have Edison, we have Lilith, Vegapunk, the main stellar himself, Caribou, Gorosei, or a new guy. So about 10 guys who could be, man, hey, what if the traitor is Zoro? Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna start off with who I think is not and who I think it may be possibly be. Starting with Pythagoras, I don't think he's the traitor. He's a little he's a little Pythagoras, but I don't think he's a traitor. He almost died just a few moments ago, so anybody who's probably been a traitor won't be very thoroughly in depth with getting themselves killed, unless you're Conjurer, who's willing to die the role and go take his whole part to the grave, literally. All right, and also you got to think about who was all in the control lab when things went down, and there's only one of the Vegapunks who seemed to have disappeared right when the things went down and popped right back up right afterwards. But you can't just deduce that to that one little instance. We gotta comb through the details. We gotta get through everything that possibly may have went on. Okay, so Pythagoras almost died. He just doesn't strike me as a traitor type. I don't think he's a traitor type. All right, and then we have York. You know, Big York likes to eat, sleep, poop. She does her job pretty well, if you ask me. In fact, I think she might have the easiest job out of the Vegapunks. But she doesn't seem. She's more of a. She's just the kind of type that seems like she's gonna do her job and just like lay back and eat a burger and relax and just like oh my gosh, everything is so nice around me. Like just relax and just la 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 la. So I'm gonna go ahead and strike her out, considering she just got stoned by Ed Snake. So if you're gonna follow through with a plan to overthrow your Stella and where you were created, you're not gonna let yourself get stoned, or at least you'll be aware of it. And also, she had already gave a command to the Seraphim that didn't go through. So if she had gave us a command, it would have override it, because the person who issues a command is the only one that can override it if they're on the same hierarchy on the command list. So we're gonna go ahead and roll that out. All right, and then we have Shaka. Shaka, the logically thinking, if you were going to die, why not just save yourself and let the Stella get caught and you somehow use your intellect to make even more satellites, and now Shaka becomes the Stella. But I don't think it's Shaka. Shaka was in the control room the entire time, and he even seemed surprised when he seen the monitors being cut off one by one, even though no one was directly looking at him while he was in the control room, because Zoro and Luffy, they was chilling over there, just while Kaku and Lucci taking a nap. So I'm gonna go ahead and rule Shaka out. He seems like he seems to be the main one prioritizing making sure that we get the Stella. Back when they was talking about finding them, and Lilith was over there like, hey, you annoy me very much, and Shaka was just like, I'll live with it. So we're gonna go ahead and rule out Shaka. We got Atlas, who was absent for some time, but considering she did take a full Rokogun from Luigi directly to the face, full power. I think he even wrapped the tail around her just to make sure she couldn't move. But yeah, she really know how to take him in. No pun intended. So and I was also thinking like we the Vegapunks, they're robots, but they're just modified to look how they are. So evidently they could change their appearance at some point. Like what if we got one of the Vegapunks who they were like kidnapped or whatever, and they just took over their appearance? Like, is that possible? Because they gotta sync up every 24 hours. So is it possible to to sync up every 24 hours, but you reserve like a piece of information so the other Vegapunks doesn't get to it? The possibilities are endless when we're talking about technology that can that can pretty much change the way the future is as it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and rule out Atlas because I don't think it's Atlas. I don't have too much. I don't have any evidence to support that she could be the traitor. And she also has already given the Seraphim a command in which they didn't listen to. Okay, so, and then we have the more evil one, Lilith, who is so evil, she would actually go behind everybody's back and trade on them. But nah, I feel like Lilith, like she's too easy. Like if you're gonna Lilith, obviously the first one that you would think would be a traitor among us. But also, if you're used to any whodunit type of ordeals, the first suspect is usually not the culprit. Even though there was this scene where like Lilith, she when they was talking about finding the Stella, she called Shaka like a goody two shoes or whatever. And I mean, at the end of the day, she very much seemed to show consideration for caring about the other Vegapunks. Like when Edison was almost killed, but Sanji had jumped in to save him, she was like happy about that. And like I feel like Oda is like throwing little hints to make it seem like she would be the traitor, but obviously that's just to throw the reader off, I believe. She recently just said that they can't fight the Seraphim because they're too strong, and that they're already created to be the most powerful human beings technology that they have so far. But if you're an evil genius, what do you just if you're an evil genius, wouldn't you just come up with a way to get around that the Seraphim are a lot stronger than you? I mean, because when it comes to brains versus brawn, you know how it's gonna turn out. Because we got a lot of smart characters that overpower the brawn in a lot of situations. So I'm gonna throw out Lilith because she has already given an order to the Seraphim and they didn't listen. And also there was a split moment when she was about to die, but Zoro jumped in and saved her from S-Hawk. And I just feel like it's too obvious. If you're gonna give me a whodunit, I need you to make it non-obvious. So Lilith, it's too practical. But last we have Edison. Edison, he was the last one to give the Seraphim an order when he told them to stop, and they did. And but after that, we haven't really seen him give another command to the Seraphim. So it possibly could be him that issued the order. And also in the chapter where the name of it is eluding me right now. The dome thing, the thing that protects, the thing that stops people from getting in. Just get that. There was an instant where he wasn't in the scene, but he was right in the next scene when it was heading towards to stop CP0 from going ahead and destroying the stratosphere, Egghead Island or whatever. There was that, but it's not concrete evidence to call him the culprit. But I do got my eye on him. So out of the Vegapunks, I feel like the most likely it possibly could be would be Edison. And with all the information I have, it could be him, but at this moment we don't know why, because whoever's in the lab is making the government's job easier. And why would anyone be want to make the government's job easier? Because they work for the government. Vegapunks work for the government. Could it be Vegapunk, the main body himself? But even then, why would Vegapunk go through such an elaborate plan just to have himself killed or have himself help the government? What if Vegapunk has a plan so elaborate that it's just way too far to see in the near future? That Vegapunk doesn't really strike me as like a person to like try to prove his loyalty to the government, or like try to like come up with a plan to do that. He seems like he's like, oh well, if they want to kill me, I guess I gotta go. Look, come on, Straw Hat, let's get going. Seems like that kind of guy. And then he disappeared. Like, was he taken? Did he disappear on his own? Is he in memory land? Is he hiding, letting the fight go down? Vegapunk doesn't seem like a S-class fighter. So what's going on there? And we got Caribou over here with the swamp fruit, who does have the ability to put people inside his body and hold them in. And do you think, okay, in that scenario, do you think Vegapunk will be able to get out of Caribou? There's something to think of. I feel like in my mind, I want to make Vegapunk kind of like Rick from Rick and Morty, who like whatever situation you're in, Vegapunk just pulls out some gadget to get out of it and like work like that. But I mean, it's probably not that simple. And then it brings us to Caribou. Caribou doesn't strike me as someone who would want to be he doesn't strike me as someone who would want to be Caribou doesn't strike me as someone who would be a very elaborate guy and come up with a thought out plan. I mean, lately I've been thinking that he's the one who actually been giving Morgan's his clues to the news to get to from Egghead Island, and cause how's Morgan getting his news? So, or maybe Caribou could have possibly stole Vegapunk for a price. We're talking about Vegapunk, one of the most brilliant mind in the world, who the government is trying to take hostage. We were talking about Vegapunk here, someone with the most brilliant mind, whom Luffy has taken hostage supposedly. So there's got to be a lot of money for anyone that can probably get Vegapunk back. Maybe there's already a war for Vegapunk, or maybe Vegapunk has a bounty. But now that wouldn't make sense, because if the government is gonna pretend like like Luffy is the one that kidnapped Vegapunk, then they probably wouldn't go that route. But yeah. So there's Caribou that could be an option. And then we have the Gorosei. You think Saturn on the island already? Like, honestly, I feel like if you're gonna be headed to Egghead Island on an occasion that the Emperor Straw Hat Luffy is down there wreaking havoc, instead of just traveling along the sea like a smooth sailing boat, you need to be like, you gotta get there quick. But I don't think I don't think Saturn will already be there, just for like story purposes. Like, I want to see I want to see them arriving to AK Island. I want to see how they deal with the Mark IIIs on the shore, and I want to see like I just want to see how they breach and how they get into it. I don't want them to just pop up and oh, here they are. Unless Saturn has like an ability to be two places at once maybe. But the possibilities are endless. And last but not least, could be someone new entirely. I seen somewhere where someone said maybe punk records itself, it has become like a sentient and conscious, and is the one that's controlling the dome and like turn it off and turn it back on. And that's how no one was able to be seen into the control room. But honestly, where do you think Oda's going with this? You think it's one of the satellites? You think it's the Gorosei? Or you think it's Caribou? Or is it someone new entirely? You guys just let me know what you think in the comments. But either way, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.